chanting we are, what kind of chanting we are doing, and how much quality is that we are putting into the endeavors. And this all we can get to know from the message of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I hereby share my screen. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his various books, he has explained about the inattentive chanting. When we do chanting, mainly we can divide into two categories. Number one is physical posture of us. Then the second one is our mental posture. When we sit and chant, how does our mind travel, and how do we bring it back, and how to engage the mind into the chanting of the holy name of the Lord by hearing. So what is the main impediment blocking one from developing attachment for chanting? So in Sajjan Toshini 11.1, it is mentioned, if one gives up all the offenses in chanting, but remains inattentive, he can never develop attachment for chanting. The point to understand is, though we might escape the other offenses, like offenses to the devotees, offenses to the sovis, offenses to the deities, and various other offenses we can try to avoid. But if we remain still inattentive while chanting the holy name of the Lord, and Sajjana Toshini, it is mentioned that he can never develop attachment for chanting. For the sake of chanting, only we chant, but we do not have any attachment. Maybe we chant for more number of rounds, the count we want to have. That way, it will not help to develop attachment for chanting. So then what are the various definitions of inattention while chanting? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has done some humble prayers. O Lord, all anarthas are produced when we do not pay attention to our chanting. The exalted devotees have defined inattention as indifference, laziness, and restlessness. This is from Harinam Chintamani. So these are the main three categories for our inattentive chanting: indifference, laziness, and restlessness. Laziness doesn't mean exactly physical laziness. It is also kind of mental laziness also. So then what is the symptom of restless chanter? Those who are afflicted with restlessness try to finish their prescribed rounds as soon as possible. This is the greatest stumbling block for our chanting. So like many people, they have been addicted for games, mobile phone games, YouTube games, and also various other browsing factor. When they do like this, they physically they are restlessness, and mentally also they are restlessness, and they want to finish their rounds as quickly as possible. They say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram. Thereby it is an offense, and also it becomes inattentive chanting for the holy name. That's why one should be extremely careful not to commit such offense while chanting the holy name of the Lord. So how can laziness be destroyed? The characteristics of a saintly person is that it does not waste time. I repeat, the characteristic of a saintly person is that he does not waste time. We get a lot of free time, and during that free time, we want to be independent. Nobody should ask anything for us, or we should not read any scriptures, we should not chant. And But when you observe the saintly persons does not mean that they wear, saffron clothes, they sit in Himalayas. No, a person who chants the holy name of the Lord on his beads for a certain number of times and following certain regulatory principles and having a guru. And these are the things which determine a saintly person. By seeing such character in another, one will certainly hanker after it. One will think, alas, when will I become fortunate enough to chant, sing, and remember the holy names of the Lord, like this saintly person? Such enthusiasm in a lazy person's mind will destroy his laziness because he will remember Krishna, Harinam Chintamani. So here we can understand that. One moment. Sorry for the interruption. So saintly person, now we got to know who is a saintly person. A person who is following for regulator principles and also chanting the holy name of the Lord. So he is always dedicated for the service of the Lord. And the main symptom of this saintly person is he does not waste time. All the 24/7, he utilizes every single minute for the service of the Lord. Maybe it is difficult for us, but when we advance in our Krishna consciousness, surely we also can utilize all the 24/7. So Harinam Chintamani says that by seeing these saintly persons, and lazy people also, they will be very much inspired to chant the holy name of the Lord very attentively, thereby their laziness will be destroyed. So this is the beauty, and this is the benefit of having an association of a sadhu, saintly person. So then why does one become indifferent to chanting the holy names? What is the reason? Harinam Chintamani, it says that if the desire is to accumulate wealth, say for example, we have sufficient money, Krishna has given us, but still if we want to, uh, acquire more and more and wealth, then the holy name of the Lord will become indifferent for us. And also to enjoy the association of women, name, fame, and then holy name will not be revealed. How is it possible? Like, if anybody is uh, trying to enjoy association of women, it's not only physical. The moment it comes to our mind, that that is also a thinking of a woman, then seeing a picture of a woman, and also browsing on the YouTube, Facebook, and other social media. Where can I see a naked woman? And just by thinking, feeling, and willing, all these things will drag us into the falsely enjoying association of women. Then automatically holy name of the Lord is indifferent. That means he will not get any taste for the holy name of the Lord. And also some people are hankering for name and fame. His name is to be announced today in the group, and his name is to be written, his name is to be published in the newspaper, his name is to be announced in the TVs, and by this he wants to become a very, very famous personality. Even among the devotees also, they want to acquire, they want to hanker for name and fame. They do some surveys, and they are expecting some name and fame, some glories. If anybody does like this, and this holy name will not reveal, he will not get any taste of the holy name of the Lord. So we must chant the holy name of the Lord as a service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is our constitutional position. Jivar Swarupahai, Krishna Nitya Das. Then what is the Nitya Das duty? Is to chant and glorify the holy name of the Lord. And another factor is to cheat others. If anybody has got this tendency of cheating others, he is first of all, he is cheating himself, then he is cheating others also. Thereby, both are getting they are not getting any taste in chanting the holy name of the, because cheating is a kind of offense. It is a criminal activity. So in this way, holy name will not be revealed for such people. And to seek victory over defeat, say, I'm doing this work, I want to become very famous, I have to virtually defeat all other people, then this kind of thoughts fill one's heart, that will naturally make one indifferent to chanting the holy name of the Lord. So these are the various factors where we are falling prey for this. So if we have these kind of qualities, we need to come up and we need to give up such qualities, and thereby we can get taste for the holy name of the Lord. Then why is inattention in chanting the source of all offenses? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he also shares this in Harinam Chintamani, or reservoir of all transcendental qualities. If one chants the holy names of the Lord, but his attention is elsewhere, how can he benefit? If even such a person chants 100,000 holy names of the Lord, still a drop of the mellow of ecstatic love will not be attained. O Lord, this is the definition of inattention while chanting the holy names. This offense is deeply rooted in the hearts of materialists. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur specifically mentions the materialist mentality and their behavior and what is their attitude. So if anybody, he wants to chant the holy name of the Lord, even 108 times or thousands of times also, but if he's lacking attention, like chanting the holy name and hearing the same, if this is not done, then he will not get any benefit out of that. So this is the definition of the inattentive chanting. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada gives one statement here. If we continue the chanting, the curing process will go on. Never mind the doubts, and gradually we will get a taste of that sweet nectar of Krishna Nama Sankirtana. That is the process. Letter to Terry and Associates, San Francisco, March 22nd, 1968. And our Lokanath Swami, His Holiness, he has given one wonderful statement. Let us see how much this is applicable for us. Only the most intelligent people are entitled to engage in the process of chanting the Maha Mantra, 7th April 2011, Rajapur, Mayapur. His Holiness Lokanath Swami is a super Kirtaniya for the whole our ISKCON community. And Maharaj has come several times to our temple, and Maharaj has given a number of lectures on the Harinam Chintamani and chanting the holy name of the Lord. Maharaj here says that only most intelligent people are, they get into the process of chanting. So few more minutes we will spend on this. So then there is one Sudam Prabhu. He also gave a lot of seminars by name Santulan. Santulan means chanting the holy name of the Lord. So he gives some message like the first connection of the jiva with Krishna is the holy name. Like when a child born out of the womb of the mother, as soon as he comes out, he cries, ah, like that he cries. So that is his first relationship. So here, first connection of the jiva with the Krishna is the holy name. Once our relationship is established with Krishna through attentive hearing and chanting, automatically relationship with all jivas is in order. It is just like serving Krishna is serving all. But by serving all without Krishna, it is not serving Krishna. So serving Krishna, understanding Krishna, glorifying Krishna automatically serves all the jivas, because he is the Supreme Father. When we love the Supreme Father, automatically we get in line with all his children. means all the other living entities. So that is the wonderful factor of chanting the holy name of the Lord. We are drowning in the ocean of material existence. If we give up attentive chanting, we have no hope. If we don't chant and hear attentively, automatically we will be committing all other 9 other offenses also. So we should be very careful. You may escape from all other offenses, but ultimately you have to face inattentiveness, the mother of all offenses. Bhakti Vinod Thakur. We had discussed it already. So we must be very careful during our chanting. We must be very attentive. We should give up all other things. Maybe, of course, we are chanting on the Zoom session. It is not necessary to come and watch the screen, what is going on, who has come, who has quit. These things are not required. The moment you join the meeting, you are already in the association of the devotees. You simply sit in a cross-like position with the erect position and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, you keep chanting and you make a constant flow, that your flow should not be distracted. And this is physical posture and pronunciation very clearly. Then the meanwhile, mind goes somewhere else. You need to drag it back and engage in hearing the holy name of the Lord. This circus you need to keep on doing. And one day we will become a good chanter also. Moving forward, we have the first connection of the Jiva with Krishna is the holy name. Once our relationship is established with Krishna through attentive hearing and chanting, automatically relationship with all the Jivas also in order. We are drowning in the ocean of material existence. If we don't do attentive chanting, we have no hope. Even you see this big ocean, and so many people who are all not devotees of the Lord, they are drowning in the samsara sagara. And the fortunate people who are devotees of the Lord, they have been already boarded the ship, so they don't have too much worry. So that's why our chanting should be very perfect. If we don't chant and hear attentively, automatically we will be committing all 9 offenses also. So then mind balance is to be properly done, and that happens by reading Namamrut and by understanding Namamrut, by hearing from saintly persons, and also by practicing. All these factors will help us do the attentive chanting. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur's statement is this, the one. Inattentive chanting is mother of all chanting. So moving forward, 5 meanings of attentive chanting. So negligence, like Bharat Maharaj, he was deeply attached with the deer at the end of his life, and that's why Lord has given him another body, another birth. And that slight negligence caused him to take another birth. But Lord is so merciful, he gave him remembrance, though the soul is in the deer's body. So we should not neglect. And also carelessness means, our bhakti is on the razor's edge, blade edge. We should be very, very careful. If there is small offense to devotees, bhakti will be interrupted. It is disturbed. So chanting unconsciously is another thing. Consciousness is the main ingredient in Harinam Yajna, without which Yajna is incomplete. Unconsciously, we are not supposed to chant. We have to be very conscious while chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Am I conscious? Was I focusing in the hearing the holy name of the Lord? I'm physically chanting, but focus is not there. So again, we need to be very conscious. Several times I give this example that if normally we are unconscious, for example, if there is any bank transaction happens and the OTP comes, then we are very much conscious. That is the difference between normal conscious and very conscious. So the very conscious will help us in chanting the holy name of the Lord and hearing the same. That consciousness, we should develop. Unfocused mind, even material things need focus. Tasmad ekena manasa, devasayatmika buddhi ekena kurunandana, like that. Okay, so some analogies also we can share another couple of minutes that okay. Chanting while maintaining material attachment is like rowing the boat with the anchor down. Sometime back we heard one analogy, the same analogy from His Grace Srivas Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. He was mentioning that there was a marriage party in the night. They supposed to travel, so they started boarding the boat, and everybody sat, and the boatman, he started rowing. Then the morning they saw that they were in the same place, and they were astonishing. What happened? Why we were not at all moving? Then the boatman noticed that the anchor of the boat was not removed, and they all remained at the same place. But they feel like they were rowing in the water, traveling in the water, but it didn't happen. Similarly, we also sit and chant the holy name of the Lord, thinking that I am chanting 16 rounds. Today I am chanting extra rounds, 20 rounds, 30 rounds, 36 rounds I am chanting. But he has so many attachment with the material things, like how I can acquire that wealth, or how I can able to enjoy today, my day. Like that he may think, and this will not help him. That's why if we have too much material attachments, and he cannot able to chant. For this reason, we can call any normal who is a non-devotee and ask him to chant one round. That means it takes 8 minutes, and he cannot be able to chant because he has got a lot of material attachments. Okay, so inattentive chanting is like feeding our own anarthas strongly to kill us spiritually. It's like watering the weeds, not the bhakti lata. Say there are some plants. Which plant you water, that plant grow as much as possible. If you water these anarthas, then anarthas will go, then our bhakti lata. So to feed our bhakti lata, we should associate with the devotees, we should serve them, and also we should read the Namamrut, the holy name of the Lord. What is that Amrita? We are supposed to read and hear from the sannyasis. The day moment we start feeling bad, discussed with our inattentive chanting, that is beginning of our return journey back to Godhead. The thought should come, otherwise simply it is a waste of time. Okay, so one mantra at a time we are supposed to chant. Although we say chant and be happy, still we always in tension, anxiety because of inattention. As we always sit for japa in the tension of finishing 16 rounds. So we should not target that 16 rounds. It is said that our real chanting will begin on the 17th round. Tension-free formula, one mantra at a time, no kiss and no jumping, attentively with a medium speed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Have I heard all this now? That's very, very important. In attentive chanting and association of the devotees creates time and also protects us from tigress like Maya. So we need to sit with the devotees. That's why we invite all of you to come for morning Mangalarti and Japa session. This make us life perfect. If Krishna has invested all his energies in chanting, then so should we. Unnecessarily, we are investing our energy in somewhere else. But we should invest in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Nothing is more important than attentive chanting and hearing during japa time. So the so-called important activity is not going to save us. We are, eager to say so many things to others, but that does not work out. Like so many ideas, brilliant plans will come only when we start chanting. That is the agent of Maya. We should address them. Okay, these plans will come. The planning and the Panchavarsha Pranalika, these things, they all will come. Only I will address you after my 16 rounds are over. You need to address it. You need to tell your mind. Otherwise, mind will travel anywhere and bring so much nonsense to us. So let everything else wait. Only after that, after my japa is over, only I can able to address all these issues. Okay, so still a lot more is there, but the time is up. It is 6:38. Maybe one more day I can able to share with you all. Thank you very much. Harinam Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.